Hello and welcome back to Septerra. I decided to go back here because for some reason I had lead in my party, and I believe I went over the thing that led most people in the bazaar try and hit on lead, and I don't feel like that is a good conversation point to have. But this video, just as a fair warning, is I can't even say most likely, it is 99% sure that it's going to be nothing but exploring the other, not one, not two, but three other areas of the bazaar. Let's go to the bounty hunter district first, because that, well, has the bounty hunters in it. That's probably at least a little bit important to find out.
Is there a city plan where I could find directions?
The city has no plan. Each new section was added by a different people, all gathered here from different world shells.
Basically just a giant hodgepodge that you need to live in it to know where the hell you're going.
This is a most decadent city.
More peaceful than Shell 6, though. Their different gangs are always at war.
I feel like we might have to go through that at one point. Oh goody.
The canals and gates of the bazaar are fascinating.
Aye. I've heard tell of their linkage to the ancient cursed city of Marduk. Some say they still lead there even now, if one knows the way.
I believe that is also something we may have to go through later. I honestly don't remember, because shortly after the bazaar, my mind just draws a blank. I remember bits and pieces, but I don't remember anything truly notable, like, hey, this actually was here, besides one part, which is back at Oasis. But that... we left two areas that we couldn't go through. Of course we're going to go back to Oasis, and my mind can just... there's a faint flicker there, but other than that, I can't remember anything else. Yellow.
Looks like a sewage pipe. I wonder where it leads.
And it has a giant fancy smanchy sign on it.
I think it's locked off.
Yes, it is actually locked. Remember that lock guy? That guy who is named similarly to a lock? He has the key. I know this because I played. You don't really... Actually, it doesn't really even fully tell you unless you've actually talked to Locke and you actually know that, hey, the entrance to the bounty hunters are locked, which you don't know until you come into this district. Because that is the unofficial entrance. The official entrance, I'm just going to try and find it, is right here. As you can see, it has a couple bounty hunters guarding it, and there's the sign again.
Who are you?
Bounty hunters. Looking to hire one?
No,
Then you ain't coming in.
And there is no way that they will actually let us in. You can't talk to them with anybody else to try and get other conversation, and that's it. So let's talk to this lady.
Hey there. Want a good time?
Are there any officials I can seek help from?
If you want something done, hire a bounty hunter.
Can a bounty hunter guide me through the city?
Decadence and wickedness.
Are you a follower of Marduk?
Yes.
Well, I follow Kira. Marduk teaches you to kill. Kira teaches me to love.
That may be, but I don't kill for money.
He has a point there. Just saying.
Nice outfit.
Wouldn't I look better without it?
I gotta go.
Poor grub. What is in here? It is most likely another trap. Oh no, it's a bird. Well then. Didn't I use bird seed somewhere else? Could have sworn I had more than 2 birds. Huh. Hope I didn't end up missing one. let me double check the map. What is down here? It's a little completely dead-end inlet for no particular reason. Let's go to that shop then. Believe that would be a legitimate weapon shop. Because funnily enough, Red Light District doesn't have everything that we need. Yes. Big old sword. If we look at Corgan, look at that increase. Nelly. And even for her, so we're going to most definitely purchase 2 of those. And I will actually equip the one on Corgan right now. That's a pretty nasty looking sword in comparison to the other one he had. Look at that change. Kinda looks cruder though, it doesn't look as fancily made. Here we go. Now here's a little strange thing. These guys look very much like Incarn soldiers, don't they? If we use observe, they are indeed rogue soldiers. One can only suppose that possibly even directly after that war happened, some of the Incarn soldiers went rogue to still find work, as it were. Now, you shoot. It occurs to me, this is actually probably louder than normal because I turned up all the general sounds on my computer because some things are a little bit too quiet. Let's see how Corgan hits. These guys have 100 health. 86. Wow. He dang near... You thief! You stole pocket change. Now, Corgan should be able to slice this guy down. Yep, he's gone. Maya should be able to finish him off. Not finish, but put a very large dent in his health, and Grub should be able to finish him off. Another grenade now. We need to rest. And... no! Oh. Okay, he stole a fair bit of money that time. That's going to be almost all of the money that we'll get from killing him. Yeah, that was nearly all of our money. Allow me to actually go into the audio and turn the master down a bit, turn the music down a bit, and the FX down a bit. Music a bit more. FX a bit more. Now it sounds too quiet. This is why I always hate fiddling with sound settings. The sound is a little bit better. But I had to fiddle with my global sounds a bit because certain things that you can actually fiddle with to make them louder without fiddling with the global sounds, such as YouTube. My thing was on max, yet it wasn't quite loud enough. So I had to kind of turn up my general sound up in order to properly hear it. I mean, certain things were fine, but you know, it's watching YouTube. Different people have different settings, so the problem was the quietest person on the loudest setting on that set, the loudest setting on that particular set was too quiet. But let's rest.
Do you have a room for the night?
That probably made no sense there. But, well, let's see. I believe what we can do is switch those two out and quickly equip her with the big sword. See, hers looks much finer. What does a medium sword look on her? Still has a green handle, so it's still similar-ish. It has a brownish handle, but hers looks much more fine and well-crafted. While if you look at Corgan's, it's just like a big, beefy slicer. Don't really know what happened there. But let's go to the Bounty Hunter District, because I believe... Well, go to it again, because I believe I skipped over a door because we were not really feeling too healthy. I believe, if I recall, I've done all of those doors already. So let's go right back in here. And up. And into here. Yeah. Is this where it just was? No. Yes? I think it was. I think it was, actually. Well, dang. Apparently I've done everything in the Bounty Hunter District for now. I mean, there's still the entrance. You kind of have to work it out yourself. I forget if anybody really tells you. Maybe in the shipping transport. The slums is, I believe, purely just for exploring and finding stuff. As you can tell, it's named the slums for a good reason. We can loot the what's little on the table. A cornucopia? Really? Okay then. I'm gonna be really sad when we end up having to use cornucopias, because that's a lot of health. 500. That one seemed entirely inhabited by bugs. What's in here? I believe this is more for loot, actually. Like, hey, there's a crate. And a TV. Most colored thing in the entire bazaar. I believe that was Quicksilver? Yes. Adds to speed. Apparently putting that on top of the cat's paw actually reduces speed. Increases speed by 1. That is, not actually too good, but I think I will actually put on Corgan, just to give him the slightest speed boost, because he doesn't have anything at the moment. And let's go in this one. Hey, there's an actual person who seems to have a very well-colored hair and clothing for living in the slums. Just gonna loot your house, turn into Zelda. Link. Turn into that character from Zelda that isn't named Zelda.
I'm from Shell 2.
Really? Pretty desolate there, ain't it?
What? It's pretty desolate here, though too, isn't it? I mean, your pillows look about as good as the mattresses from Shell 2.
Why don't you get out of this slum?
I spent most of my savings to come here for a better life, and wound up broke and stranded. I pray my children have it better.
No.
This city is huge. It must take a lot of power to keep it lit.
Aye. Our ancestors built this city on the ruins of Marduk's ancient capital. Some say that the power source of his city still runs ours.
We can't loot her fridge, but we can loot her fruit crate she has in the back. Okay then. I'm telling you, eventually we're going to find a way to go down there. That is closed. That, however, is open. There's also someone else to talk to. Water barrels I probably wouldn't recommend drinking from. And completely uninhabited, but once again, you steal from their table. Find a piece of bread. 78. I think I want to cap that off to 100 before we go on next combat area as well.
I seek directions.
Well, wherever you have to get to, you can just keep walking. The city goes around the whole world. Eventually, you're gonna find what you're looking for.
Do you worship Marduk?
Dogo's a more fitting patron. He stands for trickery, deception, and chaos. Some of the girls all follow Kira. Thank the goddess for that, eh?
Who rules the bazaar?
Well, used to be some officials and statesmen, but we never listen to them, so I guess it's safe to say no one rules us.
So pretty much a place... It is pretty much Las Vegas. How about that? The bazaar is Las Vegas, where what happens in the bazaar stays in the bazaar. And look, there's some children playing with one of those dirt bugs.
Hi, what are your names?
I'm Ian.
I'm Amber.
Hi.
You children shouldn't be on the street.
We're safer than you out here.
What was that kid's face for? Like, who burned?
I got nothing to say.
And Grove's like, you know what? I don't feel like dealing with children. Hi. Guessing I'm talking to both of them.
How long have you lived here?
All our lives.
Gonna die here, too.
Aren't you worried about your families living here?
Many people have no choice but to live here.
One day we hope they can get off Shell.
Do you remember the origins of this city?
I ain't that old, boy.
Well, I mean, you seem like a nice old couple, so I suppose you won't mind if we take a Titan? The hell is a Titan? Guessing it's another... adds to vitality. Ooh. That would actually be very good for Grub. It would reduce his core power. It would definitely help his health and armor. So I am putting the Titan on Grub, just to increase his survivability. He now has almost as much health as Maya. Almost, but not quite. And another thing to loot. Tipped over crate of what appears to be apples that nobody really cares about. You get a root out of it. Apparently it's growing. Hey, we can actually ask about transport here.
People fly in on transports?
Yeah, you can usually find a ship captain desperate enough to take you where you want to go.
Desperate enough? That doesn't sound encouraging.
Who lives here?
Pimps, whores, fixers, laborers.
Oh, that's encouraging.
Marduk hailed from Shell 4.
Aye, but it don't seem to help us any.
Who built all this?
Everyone builds a little, and eventually it grows into a city.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of how big cities go. Nothing else to take. These people's clothing seems to be incredibly bright and colorful for living in the slums. Like, hell, even bounty hunter clothing isn't this bright. Alright. Explored up here. Is there anywhere else I can actually go? Let's check this level. Did I check this level? Or did I just keep going? I don't remember this guy, so I will talk to him, and I'll go into that one room. I think I might have gotten it.
Have you heard any news regarding the Chosen?
Oh, I haven't seen him in a long time. It's a dark day when you do, and I hope that day never comes.
So apparently you didn't see when they flew on by.
Tell me the origins of the bazaar.
Well, after the destruction of the demon Gamma, Marduk ruled his empire from his city of Babylon on Shell 4. Centuries after his reign, a splinter group broke from the city and left to go to the upper shell. These we call the Chosen. The rest remain and eventually built the World Bazaar.
Ah, so that's how the Chosen got founded? I don't actually remember that. I mean, it makes sense on the Chosen's ideals.
Does the city have a library? Perhaps a layout of the sewers? Well, that'd take forethought, and someone would have to care.
No, what is with all the stripes here? Is that supposed to be like a shipping area? Because there's this dedicated shipping area. I have no idea what that plan was actually meant for. I think I've already gotten this one. Yeah, this is the empty one that had the cornucopia, I believe. But let us keep going. So really, there wasn't a whole lot in the slums. Just, people to talk to, stuff to loot, that kind of thing. And this is the exit. There's something else on this level, but there's no way to actually get to it. Finally, the shipping transport. Rather basic setup. Just one way down. Hello, person.
Can you...
Hey, sweet thing.
Get away from me, creep.
Apparently, that guy's a little bit desperate. I mean, I'm not saying mine is ugly or anything, but if you talk to like half of the men in the bazaar with lead, they really like to hit on her a lot, which is kind of counterintuitive to the fact that she had that whole stupid thing of like, oh no man, like me because I have lead legs. And then she goes to the bazaar, half the population in it hit on her, and she doesn't even really seem to take any note that she said that people wouldn't like her in the first place when that happens. I don't know. You can tell this is the market. We're waiting to talk to that guy. You can tell he's a little bit important. Also,
can I interest you in anything?
A bounty hunter shopkeeper. When I first ran across this, I laughed like crazy. Because, like, just suddenly the shopkeeper voice from bounty hunter. Now, knives go with the skins. As you can tell, we're probably going to get someone who can use those very, very shortly. But we now have found the engines, which I am buying 3 of. Leaves us with 3,500 gold. Believe we have bought just about everything we possibly need besides accessories.
How often do you travel off Shell?
Never. Got everything I need right here.
Ancient lore says this city was built over the ruins of Marduk's lost city.
I don't know about on top of, but it's said to be around here somewhere. Some say that ancient machines called sentinels protect its wealth.
Oh boy.
How does the city generate its power?
I doubt anyone knows anymore.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either. I don't think most people actually pay enough attention. Oh, this is just a circle. Well, I am going to go one more check around and go down here. See if it's down here. Just a dirt bug. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. And finally, this guy, another shopkeeper.
What'll it be?
It's grenades and napalm. As you can see, Runner can actually use napalm as well, which is rather interesting. But he also has more engines. But I don't fancy napalm unless we're actually rolling in the dough. But let's equip the engines. See what the power engine does. Turns the little thing in the back, just a different color. Okay then. What about you with your... Probably, yeah. But all that's left stuck this guy.
Need a book passage off Shell?
Well, yes I do, actually.
Can I book passage to Shell 7?
I'm only going to Shell 3 these days. Pirates are all over the place now that Janaman and Kara are gone. To go to Shell 7, I have to go through the pirate dens of Shell 6.
There's no way you'll go?
Find someone who can make nice with the pirates in case we get boarded, and I'll go. But fat chance on that.
Can a bounty hunter be a guide?
Sure, but I only trust Aram. Fought with him in the Resource War. If you bring him, I'll take you to Shell 7.
Where is he?
The other bounty hunters got him locked up. Good luck busting him out.
And that's how you actually find out that Aram is important, besides Selena saying, hey, he might be helpful. So, effectively, in order to get off of the bazaar, we need to go save Aram. But let's also talk with the other people.
On Shell 3, we use Helgak for transport.
We use fast ships made of steel and flesh. Get you where you're going as fast as lightning.
What kind of ship do you have?
Fast, kid. Genome technology.
Is it bioengineered like the Chosen's?
Parts of it like the heart and brain computer. Rest of it's steel.
So like we've... English. Like we've known before, Genome do use Helgak parts to bioengineer certain parts, and that guy with the vest is creepily staring at Grub. But Chosen,
where you want to go then?
Fully complete set of Helgak. But this guy can actually take us back to Shell 3 if we so desired. And actually, that is something I want to do, because there is a nice optional, but still nice, thing we can do. Now, if you remember, I'm going to leave it as a surprise to see if people actually remember. But if you remember, there is something that we could not do with the people that we had at the time. So, I'm going to do is go back to the red light district and go to the inn and switch out some characters. We're going to need a specific set of characters for this. First, though, I'm going to equip a runner with his engine so I can go sell those parts and think about accessories. And let's see. Subscreens, party, runner, and then equipment for runner. Did I equip him? I don't think I actually bought a coat. Maybe I did. That just changes the color of his quote-unquote heart. But now I'm going to switch runner out for lead. Also, what does lead's equipment? What is large wrench? Okay. I'm like, did I buy a wrench for her? I forget. But now we get to run all the way back, make a quick stop at a shop. Specifically one up here that I believe has accessories. Sell all our old equipment and move on.
Hello, take your time.
Now, where's the coats? I believe I kept the thin coat on him because although those increases armor, it decreases speed quite a bit. Which, as the slowest character, that is not really the best thing to have. Sell the old engine, sell the old swords, and sell the old wrench. It's not too bad. I believe you... See, at least your colorful suit makes sense because you're a merchant.
Hello. What do you sell?
Healing herbs and medicine.
Do you? No, you don't. I don't know where the accessories are. It might be possible that the only accessories are actually sold on Shell 3. That would kind of suck. But we can still fully access the shops on Shell 3. There's no reason for us to not to, because those are where all the best accessories that we can currently get to are. But other than that, the shops are outdated. Now we can talk to him and go back to Shell 3.
Need a book passage off Shell?
Yes, I do.
Where you want to go then?
I'd like to go to Shell 3. And then here we are, right back at the place. And I believe we just need to talk to her to go back. Just want to make sure.
Where to?
Yep, just to show 4. No thanks. Not the moment. But here we are. Now, I will say, I think I remember, because honestly, when I bought this again, also, there's Janam. What's left of it, anyway. Yep. I believe you can actually talk to the locals about that, and I'll see about that, but I'll be honest, I did play a little bit of this before I started recording, as in before I even started recording the game overall. I believe this guy won't talk to us because we have Corgan in our party.
Go away, you'll bring the wrath of the guards.
Yeah. But I recorded up to finishing the bazaar. Or played up to finishing the bazaar. Specifically, by myself before I even started recording. So I will say that you can go to Layla up in the mountains. I don't believe she has anything. You can't even talk to her about Ankara and Janam for some reason. But remember this thing? Yeah. Remember how we needed a much bigger wrench to fix it?
Looks like a quick fix would help. There. Good as new.
Thank you. That globe has been broken for many years. Please, take this in gratitude.
What did we get? A soul stone. Well, I mean, even if we came across a shop that sold a soul stone, it would probably be like 10,000 coins or something crazy like that. So I'd say that was a fairly good trade to just spend a little bit of time running around. Let's see if they have anything new to say. Yep, the earthquakes.
Have there been many earthquakes?
Something's not quite right. Some fear it's the curse.
Because nobody has left town to go look at the giant continent sticking out from beneath your own, with giant tentacles flailing out of it.
Oh, I'm really hungry. I'd love something to eat.
Sure, here. What's your name?
I'm sorry, I have to go now.
I didn't even know that would happen. Oh, lad, you horrible person.
Are the shops open?
Yeah, but prices are higher with the occupation forces here.
Ah, I didn't know that part.
Have you felt any earthquakes?
How couldn't I? Makes you wonder what the Chosen have done to our land. Feels like a big piece of the lower shells just up and slammed into us.
Well, that is quite accurate, actually. That might be exactly what happened.
There's been strange shell movements, hasn't there?
Yes, earthquakes and such. Well, some say they were caused by a piece of the lower shells rising up and slamming under our continent.
That is indeed what happened.
Where are all the kids?
Mothers fear for their children, and young women fear for other reasons.
I don't really know what that reason was, but you had a very rude look when you were talking about that. I still can't believe... I was like, you know what? I'm just going to talk to the people around here with lead, just to see what they say. I didn't even realize she flirted with that guy and effectively steal a cornucopia from him. Well, on the bright side, we'll definitely put it to good use. But let's go back.
Where to?
Because now...
This way, please.
We are going to go and save Aram. And I think what I'm going to do is have... Just because she's a fairly new character and we just recently had a whole go-around with lead, I think I'm going to have Selena and... kinda don't want to have both Selena and Corgan, but I suppose I could just to show off what happens when both of them are there. Because they're both fairly powerful characters, and the thing that happens doesn't happen too often. But it still happens. But sure, why not? Nothing could possibly go wrong. And then everybody dies. Alright, let's switch out you two. Have the two swordsmen with us. But for now, what I think I'm going to do is leave it off here. Because we have fully explored. Actually, what I'm going to do is quickly rest just to regain our core. Not that I think anybody here can really use it, but you never know.
Do you have a room for the night?
Yes, I would like a room. But I think I'm going to leave it off here, and when we come back, I am going to be in... Actually, we need to face Locke first. I was going to say, I'm going to be in front of the bounty hunter entrance that I don't have the key for yet. Hoi. But next time, we get to fight Locke. Kick his butt. In a cheaty way, mind you, but I mean, he kind of just shanks someone and runs away, so I wouldn't say that we're being that cheaty when that's what he does. But that is for next time. Till then, see you later.